Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor. And now, live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Yes. Well, welcome to the weird week that is in between Christmas and the beginning of New Year's, and that's what we have. And I think I probably should have taken the week off, but here we are, Holmes. We're doing a deal. It is Taylor. We're back after Christmas, and it was weird to have Christmas on a Monday. You'd always rather have Christmas on like a Friday. But it comes on Monday, and so we got this weird work week here, but we're going to do today, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then be off again on Friday because we ain't doing Friday shows because that's how we roll. So we're going to do the best we can today. Welcome in here. It is Taylor Live. Thanks for jumping in here and watching how we do things. I am emanating from K-Mike Studios. DJ LG is back at LG Studios today.
Wow.
And we have a busy day of broadcasting. We're going to do this show. We've got 3 Cents podcast today at 1, right? 1 o'clock. We're still doing it at 1 o'clock. I know I missed last week. We didn't change the time. Okay, good. And so we have a busy day of broadcasting. And we're here to say belated Merry Christmas and an early Happy New Year. It's that weird week that is between Christmas and New Year's in which it's hard to not mail in your job and mail in, obligations and responsibilities because, screw all that. This is the best time of the year to half-ass, I guess, but we ain't doing that, LG. We
Merry
ain't
Christmas, by the way. How was your festivities?
Eventful. I went to a pajama party. So I wore pajamas and a sweater and ate about 10 tamales and about a pound of ham and several different dessert items and had about 7 glasses of champagne. And then had about 2 glasses of wine last night. Smoked some pot and went to bed. That's pretty much what we did. We celebrated Jesus' birthday by inebriating ourselves and poisoning our brain cells. And I had a good time. How was your Christmas, dude?
Very uneventful. We planned nothing. We didn't order any. We didn't plan any food ahead of time at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good.
Good. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
I think we shot. Well, we got invited to some people's house. The only reason why we had a meal had it not been that, we had Chinese for dinner last night. We got Chinese takeout, fried rice, and one of the few things open, man. So and I think I freaked out those boys on 3 Cents the other day when I was like, Christmas schmissmas, because they're all super spirited about it. I mean, it's not that I'm an a-hole. Maybe I'm a bit cynical. I don't get jazzed for holidays.
We ordered a bunch of barbecue from Rudy's Barbecue, and that was it. Yeah,
you and your brother, go to your
me, my
house.
brother, and my mom. We just went over to her house, and that was it.
Yeah,
ate dinner and left.
Yeah,
very uneventful.
Yeah, very uneventful. Just put on 2 pounds and watched a little football and screwed off. So, we're back. I probably put on 2 pounds, but it's cool. I'll lose them before the end of the year.
Fat.
And as we come back on the air with you boys, thank you for watching this thing and contributing to it. Feel free to tip us. We probably spent way too much money over the holidays. God knows it's hard. Holidays are stressful, because especially if you have kids and you got to go buy shit that you can't afford and trying to make it work and everything. So I'm ass whipped. I'm looking forward to getting the holidays over and getting into the new year. I'm looking forward to the year 2K24. Also, just prefer even numbers. I don't like odd numbers. I like even numbers, and 2024 is an even number. And I'm looking forward to what lies ahead in 2K24. But for the last time this year, let's get into it. It is Ass Whip Tuesday here on Taylor Live. What's whipping your ass and why, man? I want to know from you. Let me hear from you. What is it? Why is it? For me, I got a couple. LG's probably got one. My first one today is the fact that Tyron Smith is hurt again. I'm not surprised. I'm just beaten down. I'm ass whipped. He's like one of the last 2 or 3 guys on the entire team that they can afford to have get hurt. And his absence was certainly a player on Sunday night in Miami. Dak was under pressure most of the time in that game. And he hardly had any time to do much, because he was getting bum rushed left and right. And one of the reasons was that spare that most of y'all probably never even heard of that had to play left tackle. On account of Tyron Smith is the most unreliable superstar the Cowboys have ever had, because he gets hurt all the time. So much so that the Cowboys actually have incentives in his contract that state he makes $9 million in salary if he plays in 75% of the snaps, right? It's an incentive. I think if he doesn't play again, and he may not, based on what Jerry Jones said today, it may be the playoff game before they get Tyron Smith back. It may be this week, but Jerry went on one of his 14 radio shows in the Metro Sex today and said that every week they have to give Tyron Smith an injection because his back is so destroyed. And he's been able to play. Well, last week, even with the injection, he was still unable to play, and that's worrisome because the injection has been working. The Toradol or whatever the hell they're giving him, the stuff they used to give Romo, I don't know. Whatever it is they've been giving him all week's been getting him out there. And he's played at a Pro Bowl level. But last week, he didn't react to the injection, and he sat the game out. And Jerry had his hands up this morning when he did one of his radio shows. I think it was The Fan at K-Bag up there in the Metro Sex, and was basically saying, "Don't know. He could be a game time decision the rest of the way, and it's a colossal ass whip, and." It's time to move on from Tyron Smith. You're paying him ridiculous money. He's very unreliable. You have to put incentives into his contract that if he doesn't play 75% of the snaps, he gets a massive pay cut because he's not reliable. And he knows it, or he wouldn't have signed this contract that has the incentives in there based on playing time. And so I have no idea if he's going to be the left tackle on Sunday. But in the offseason, the Cowboys have got to figure out Well, actually, they probably are, what they're going to do is they're going to do what they originally wanted to do, and that was move Fort Worth's own Tyler Smith out to left tackle and find somebody else to play left guard. It's easier to find a decent left guard than it is a quality left tackle. And so this is not like a massive, huge problem they can't fix, provided that Tyler Smith can handle playing left tackle. And I think he'll be fine out there at left tackle. So basically, you're not finding Tyron Smith's replacement because he's already on the roster. You're finding Tyler's replacement at left guard. But that's a problem for the offseason. If the Cowboys decide to move on from Tyron Smith this offseason, they may not. I don't know, but he's unreliable. And here we are in December, losing streak, feeling bad again, feeling like the same old, and your second best offensive lineman goes down because he's always down. So that's my first ass whip. What's your ass whip today, LG, and why?
Well, your brother's in here, so maybe he can answer some of these questions for me. My ass whip is the truck drivers that are in the left lane on like I-35 when it clearly says no trucks in the left lane. Yep. And to be fair, most of the time it's like some asshole driving a truck that shouldn't be, like someone in a U-Haul or someone in like a Ryder truck or something like that. Not a true truck driver. But sometimes it is the truck drivers driving into that lane. And I understand if they need to pass someone, but they've just been cruising. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. How it says no trucks, left lane, like all the way from like New Braunfels up to Austin. You're not like, there shouldn't be any trucks in the left lane.
Is it
and I don't think they enforce that. I think it's like just like a suggestion.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think any cops are trying to enforce that, but it's like, it pisses me off when like there's like 3 trucks in a row right there. And like the guy in the left lane, he clearly wants to pass the slower truck in the middle, but then he just keeps cruising in the left lane. Never gets back over.
True or false? We have a lot of unregulated trucks in this part of the state because of Mexico.
Yeah, but
it's
true? It's all sorts of them. I've seen like HEB and Walmart trucks, like all sorts of trucks.
Really?
Just
in the
rolling.
left?
Yeah, just rolling.
Wow. Well, I know a little bit about
it's cool
the
for a little bit if you're just trying to pass some traffic, but when you just chill and cruise, it's like, come on, man, get out of my way.
I know a little bit about the HEB truckers, and they're all trained pretty well over there. You know, we have my buddy Sergio, who's the official photographer of the 2K24 barbecue. He is an HEB truck driver by day, and he was telling me about how extensive the training is and the rules, and they regulate those trucks. I mean, they all have cameras. They can tell if you're cruising.
I've noticed that the weight station has been open lately on 35, and I never see that thing open.
Really?
Like where they pull the trucks over and they have to weigh them. Yeah. I've never seen those like my whole life. I rarely see those open, and that one on 35 has been open a lot lately.
My truck driving brother says he never does it. It's an expensive ticket, and I've seen them get pulled over. They're just impatient assholes. I'm sure there's some of that in there. You know, some dude who's some dude who's on deadline.
Cruise for a little bit, pass up about 5-10 miles of traffic, then I'll get over.
Yeah. The worst thing is to be near an 18-wheeler that's going too fast in the rain, or like on 35 where there's no median. I see that from time to time. They're just spraying water all over you as they pass you because they're just going too fast. I always picture some cranked up dude who hadn't slept in 3 days, who's on a deadline, who's desperate to get to the next county.
That's what I picture all truck drivers driving in the middle of the night are.
Just wired out.
Either that or they're doing like the Clark Griswold, just like.
Oh, they're fading out. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. My other ass whip today is the National Football League roughing the passer rules. We know that we saw Dak do something that I have not seen a quarterback do before. I'm sure it's been done. I just didn't know that. I didn't notice. Dak clearly flopped the other day in Miami and got the call. Dak got hit and he barely even got hit. Dak goes flying back and reaches up and grabs the defender's helmet and pulls him down with him. Did y'all see that? Good Lord. Good grief. He reaches up and just like falls with him. And the ref threw the flag. I'm like, are you serious? How do you not see that that was a quarterback flop? He manu'd his way into that call.
John please!
If they're going to call it, genius on Dak. Why not? That's a new one because you know that they're looking to throw the flag, right? And then we had the insane call against Micah Parsons with the game on the line in winning time. Now, I don't think that was the difference in the game. If Miami, had they not called Micah, do you really think Dallas would still won the game? I don't know. It didn't help because we talk about the Cowboys here in December on the road against a decent team in winning time. But that was a horseshit call against Micah Parsons. The rule is, and Third Leg Greg was talking about this during the broadcast, the rule is you get 2 steps. If you take a full 2 steps plus and then hit the quarterback after he throws the ball, they're going to throw the flag.
To what?
Micah did not take 2 steps. It was like a foot, maybe a step and a half at most. And they still call, the flag. And what I found out, I didn't know this was a thing. What they've told all referees, and they haven't just told them that, it's written in the rules. Basically, they've written, when in doubt, throw the flag on quarterbacks. If it's close and you're not sure, they want you to throw the flag. Even if it's really not, even if it's shitty, because they're going to err on the side of protecting QBs. This is a sport in which the most important position by far is the most beaten up position. This is a season, and this season is an example of why they're trying to protect these quarterbacks so much, because look how shitty the league is this year. This is a bad season. It's just a bad season. It always comes down to who's healthy. It comes down to who's got the best QB, who's got the most health, and who gets coached the best in the playoffs when coaching means so much in playoff games. And so injuries are always a massive part of it, but there's not been a year. I haven't seen any data. Surely there's been somebody's taken the time to do the research. I don't recall another year in which the NFL was this bashed up at quarterback. You just look at all the games. You just go to NFL.com and just look at all the box scores and look at all the people playing quarterback. It's outrageous. All the shitty-ass backups. There's third-string backups. I don't recall third-string backups having to play as much as they played this year. Damn sure don't recall just backups having to play as much as they have this year. And you look around the league, and you look at the teams with the best records, like the 49ers and the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Lions, right? And then you go to the AFC, and you look at the Ravens. And what do they all have in common? Their starting quarterback has not missed any time. That's what they have in common. They also have good coaches. Cowboys, too. Cowboys have good coaches. They've got solid teams, but they have a quarterback that's not missed any significant time, maybe a game or two at most. Brock Purdy got dinged up last night, although I think that they were optimistic after the game that he should be good to go for their next game this week. It's been such a shitty year for injuring quarterbacks. The NFL is only going to crack down even further on quarterback calls, and I'm ass-whipped by it. But what can you do about it? Nothing. What's the league going to do about it? Nothing. I'm just bitching to bitch to get it off my chest because it's never going to change. We're going to have shitty ticky-tack roughing the quarterback calls until the end of time. And what's unfortunate is that you can't deal with it when the game's on the line. And I think all quarterbacks need to start taking note of what Dak did and start trying to sell it. Start acting like a punter or a kicker. I mean, if you even get within a foot of the kicker, he's flailing like Messi. He's diving. Oh, he's falling down. Quarterbacks need to start doing that shit to sell those calls because that's 15 yards and a personal foul.
It's my quarterback.
Yeah, man. It's a colossal ass whip. Adrian, they're trying to haul all them tamales to Kelly Clarkson's house. It's a fat joke about Fort Worth son Kelly Clarkson. talking about trucks. Bernard, big things from Mike Taylor in 2024. I'm sure you were happy to see the Chiefs are considering firing Taylor Swift as the only way to save their season. She's an ass whip. And honestly, I'm not saying this, I don't mean literally, but okay, fuck it, literally. If she fell out of the Chiefs press box cheering and just fell out,
Biatch.
would you be all that sad about it? I don't know. I wouldn't. A lot of little girls would be upset. I don't think I would. I'm so beaten down by her. Speaking of the Chiefs, speaking of people in Patrick Mahomes's and Jason Kelsey's family boxes, we got ourselves a World's Championship. The Bagtastic Voyage Championship Challenge of 2K23 has come down to the World Final, and I need to post it right now. See. Here we go, man. Ted Cruz advanced to the championship last week and was awaiting the winner of the James Harden-Jackson Mahomes matchup. And I'm surprised. I thought we were in for a Teddy Cruz-Jimmy Harden final. Jackson Mahomes beat James Harden. The uber douche brother of Pat Mahomes, Jackson, who has no identification other than D-bag little brother of Patrick. And he probably has deep-rooted issues because of who his brother is and who he is seemingly not. And so his way to handle it is to act like a colossal ass bag. And he has found himself in the 2023 championship. So let me load it. After Jackson Mahomes beat James Harden with 56% of the vote, let's post it now on X, a.k.a. Twitter. Bagtastic Voyage.
Hey, Twitter world.
Challenge Championship. How about that? Exclamation point. All right. Ted Cruz. Jackson Mahomes. Ted, who has just cruised, for lack of a better word, into the title match. So there it is. I just posted it. So in 24 hours at 10:20 a.m. tomorrow, Central Texas time, we will know who the Bagtastic champion of the world is for 2K23 as voted on by Thunderdome. Flipping through my papers here to find some notes. And I can only surmise that Ted Cruz is going to hold off and win this thing. That's my guess. Ted has gotten no less than 70% of the vote in any of his matchups so far. He has just absolutely annihilated the field. This is Georgetown, Villanova, 1984 here. So even though Jackson has had a huge bad D-bag year just based on how y'all have voted, I'm assuming Ted Cruz is going to win. Although, if I were voting, and again, I'm not voting, but if I were voting, honestly, man, I'd vote for Jackson Mahomes. You know, say what you want about Ted Cruz. It's not a scumbag championship. It's just a douchebag championship. It's not a I don't vote the way you like me to championship. It's a D-bag championship. And while there's no doubt Ted Cruz has a lot of D-bag in him, he's more scumbag and coward to me. Doesn't Jackson Mahomes have more quintessential D-bag qualities than Ted Cruz? Based on what we know, I think Jackson
I would
Mahomes
say yes, for sure.
I think Jackson is a bigger
Ted
douche
Cruz
than
is just
Ted
more
Cruz.
of an asshole.
Yeah, he's just an asshole. And I don't think Ted's done anything this year any more douchey than ever. If Ted didn't win the year that he went to Mexico during the freeze, we'll see. I don't vote. You know, LG doesn't vote. Thunderdome does. But I think Jack Mahomes is a bigger douche than Ted Cruz, I think. But again, I'm simply a conduit. I simply manage this tournament. I do not control it. I simply manage it. I also manage our sponsors. Thank you to the great Texas Cheer Liquor for bringing this show each and every day. The presenting title sponsor of Mike Taylor Live is Texas Cheer Liquor. It is New Year's Eve weekend, bitches. Sunday night is New Year's Eve, so we get an extended weekend. And if you're looking for some hooch for New Year's, don't forget, New Year's Eve is a Sunday. So if you need liquor, you better get your ass in there at least by Saturday night and get all your stuff for New Year's Eve parties on Sunday night. And there are 9 locations in and around the greater San Antonio area. So that means that there is one near you, no doubt. It is Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of Thunderdome and the title sponsor of Mike Taylor Live, Texas Cheer Liquor. All right, other ass whips in here today, and there are plenty. And some pretty good ones too from what I'm just kind of going through some here. Cam's in here. The high ridiculous prices on homes nowadays. Now LG can attest to this. I mean, that's a whole new ass whip on its own, but hope everybody had a great Christmas. Mike, thanks for what you do. We're truly blessed. Thankful to have you. Thank you, Cam. I appreciate that, dude. Home prices. I mean, is it even worth buying a home? Would you buy a house now, LG?
If I had the money, yeah.
You still think
would.
you still think it's a better investment right now than just renting for a little while longer and seeing how the market goes in the next couple of years?
Obviously depends on the price of your rent, but yeah, I do think it's a better investment still.
Really? It's because of the equity.
Yeah,
you sell it later on. Yeah,
it's just a huge ordeal to go through all that bullshit. If you
what year did you buy your house? 5 years
2020.
ago? 20. Okay. Yeah. All right. So almost 4. Brett's in here. The entire Cowboys organization, it's December and they can't get out of their own way. The curse continues for the GM, Jerry Jones.
I want me some glory hole.
And honestly, is this, what we're seeing here these last couple of weeks, is it a result of, the Cowboys do what they do every year in December? They always, although last year they didn't suck in December. And they won a playoff game. Granted, they beat Tampa Bay, who had a losing record. But is this same old Cowboys doing what we're used to seeing them do most Decembers? Or is this just reality because they're playing decent teams? It might just be as simple as this. They got to play the fucking Washington Commanders and the Giants early. They got to play a bunch of shitty teams. And as I mentioned, with a hurt quarterback, how many times has Dallas played a shitty team at home that didn't have a quarterback? Half the home games? The Cowboys feasted off a bunch of schmucks. I don't think the Cowboys are playing worse football. The Cowboys are playing better teams. This is who the Cowboys have been all year. The Cowboys are the worst, best team in the league. Dallas is they're among the good teams. They're a playoff team. But if you ranked all the NFC playoff teams, where would you rank the Cowboys right now after Sunday? I mean, are we sure that the Cowboys can go on the road and beat Tampa Bay right now? The way Tampa Bay's playing, I don't think I'd pick Dallas to beat the Bucs on the road. If the Cowboys have to play the Rams, the way the Rams are playing right now, and I know that the Cowboys beat the Rams early in the season, but you gonna go betting a paycheck or a mortgage check on the Cowboys to beat the Rams in the postseason right now? I wouldn't. I don't trust these people at all, and I think all we're seeing is who they've been all year long. They feast at home against shitty teams, and then they play a solid team, and they're just an okay team. They're decent. They're not terrible. They're just decent. And decent does not win the championship. Speaking of better than decent and championship contenders, my gosh, I may have been wrong about Lamar Jackson. I'm ass whipped by MVP talk, by the way, because it changes every week. Oh, it's Dak. Oh, it's Purdy. Oh, no, it's Lamar Jackson. Can we just get the damn season out of the way first? Come on, man. But I might have been wrong about Lamar Jackson. Last March when he held out, I got mad at him, and I actually praised the Ravens because the Ravens are one of the premier organizations in the NFL. The Ravens are one of those organizations that I love because they don't have time for bullshit. They're ruthless. They have the same kind of managerial style that the Patriots had for years. And the Patriots are obviously bad now, but everybody has to crash at some point because guys get old and retire. But the Patriots and the Steelers, even though Mike Tomlin may be nearing the end, look at the continuity they've had, though. It's been a great marriage, Mike Tomlin and Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh has an organization that does not do bullshit. The Steelers, the 49ers, the Ravens, the Patriots, these are 4 of the franchises, and there may be 5 or 6 total, that they don't have time for bullshit. And I think that Dan Campbell, Glenn Rose's own, has brought that mentality to the Detroit Lions after 50 years of nothing but bullshit. The Cowboys are not one of the franchises that does not have time for bullshit. The Cowboys welcome bullshit. because it's part of the reason, it's part of their Q rating, it's part of their reality TV, and it's part of their attention whoring. The Ravens don't give two shits about anything other than winning football games, and all their decisions that they make are that. The Cowboys draft people's sons in the 6th round that are 5'4" as a feel good story, and then never play the guy all year. The Ravens would have never done that. So maybe I overthought Lamar Jackson. I've always thought Lamar Jackson was a bit overrated. By the way, he's never done shit in the postseason. But I might have been wrong because he's been absolutely terrific. Everybody's debating Dak or Brock Purdy. Lamar Jackson is clearly the best football player in the NFL, offensively especially. He has had injuries all year long around him. They've lost their running backs, they've lost receivers, they've lost offensive linemen, but the Ravens are so professional, so well coached by John Harbaugh and that staff, so good on defense every year. But on offense, the Ravens have lost a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. They've never started the same 11 guys on offense once. And the one continuous thing they have is Lamar Jackson. So I may have been wrong about him. I called him overrated in March. Me and Puma argued vehemently with me about that. I'm not taking a knee on that, but it looks like I may have been wrong. But I underestimated the Ravens. And had Lamar Jackson been a Bengal, or I don't know, had Lamar Jackson been like pick a lot of other teams. Had Lamar Jackson gone to Washington, he may not be half the guy he is. I should have given Lamar Jackson the benefit of the doubt because of who he plays for. I went against my own rule. And I've said for 20 years, so much depends simply on who you play for. So many really good players go to the wrong damn team and go play for idiot organizations, and they flame out of the league, and y'all all call them a bust, when really they just played for the wrong effing team, and had he been drafted by this team and not that team, y'all wouldn't be calling him a bust because that team would have gotten all the blood out of his rock. And the Ravens are getting everything out of Lamar Jackson's rock, and he is carrying that offense. And I don't know if San Francisco was, maybe sitting on plays last night because they don't want to show their hand here. San Francisco is a hell of a lot better than it played last night, but Baltimore, to go across the country, to go into that stadium and curb stomp their ass the way they did last night was extremely impressive. And everything changes in the playoffs. Everything. All of a sudden, mistakes hurt you more. Coaching means more. Home field advantage means a shit ton. Nerves play a factor. Guys that shine when the lights are brighter. It's so different in the playoffs. And Lamar Jackson's not been good in the postseason in his career. Maybe this year it changes. We'll see. I'm not saying I was wrong. It appears I may have been. And with as shitty as the AFC is right now, I don't know how anybody goes into Baltimore and wins a playoff game, Miami included. Miami, they're the Cowboys of the AFC. The Ravens may just cruise to the championship. In the NFC, I think it's a toss-up. I think that Dallas, if everything goes right, can win in San Francisco. Even though I'm saying that while laughing, it's possible. Highly unlikely, but possible. The Eagles, highly unlikely, but possible. But for all intent and purposes, that was probably a Super Bowl preview last night. And so maybe the Niners didn't show everything for competitive reasons. But boy, the Ravens, they just kick your ass no matter who's in there. And after I implicitly criticized Lamar Jackson last year, he's clearly been the MVP. Dak, get the fuck out of here, man. Shut the fuck up. It's been Lamar Jackson. He's clearly the MVP because he plays for one of the gold standard franchises in this league. It is Ass Whip Tuesday. Ed Warrior right there with you. The Purdy and Dak MVP prognosticators. Lamar is cooking. Yeah, Lamar's been cooking all year long. Mario's in here having to go back to work on a Tuesday. Why couldn't Christmas? I know it sucks Christmas not being on like a Thursday or a Friday. With Christmas on a Monday, most of us are back at work today, and It's a beating. Penelope, me having to rush to the doctor this morning because my son broke his finger yesterday. A memorable Christmas. I've never had any real drama on Christmas. I've had drama on New Year's Eve in my family before. I
Yeah,
told you
not
the
too much
story.
you can do about the finger either. You just got to let it heal.
Yeah, pretty much. I bet no, the doctor maybe if it's real bad, they put a splint on it just to keep
Yeah,
it
that you
straight.
can go buy one at HEB or whatever.
Those little metal
Those little-
things.
yeah, yeah. But
That's
it'll be
bad.
deformed,
Yeah.
a little bit
I've
afterwards.
never had a lot of drama on Christmas. Although my mom's been in jail a few Christmas Eves, but we were able to bail her out, by morning, so she could have Christmas with everybody. One New Year's there was a big fight with the adults at my grandma's house. All I know is that I was in the car. My stepdad Ernest got into an argument with my grandma's boyfriend at the time, and his name was Barney. Barney and Ernest got into a shouting match. They were probably fucked up. It was New Year's Day, middle of the afternoon. And so my mom's like, let's just get the hell out of here. And so that we walk to the car. And so we get in the car. And of course, stepdad Ernest having the ego that he had. And, he's big macho dude. And he's a big old dude. And he's a dumbass. When you get macho and dumbass mixed together with all the chemicals that men have, well, it's rather than just getting in the car and we drive off, Barney had to pop off one more time from the porch. And that was it. Ernest, that's it. Ernest gets out. Rips open the trunk of our car and pulls out a hammer and runs into the front yard and just waylays Barney. And I think he didn't hit him in the head, because had he hit him in the head, he would have knocked Barney out. I think Barney was able to just move just enough where Ernest got him on the top of the shoulder with a hammer, and Barney swung around and cocked Ernest in the jaw. And then Ernest had that hammer, and so Barney took off running, and they're running down the street. Ernest chasing my grandma's boyfriend with a hammer, but then two neighbors get involved and they tackle Ernest and broke it up and took the hammer away, and then we got in the car and went and had the money. Well, I've had drama on New Year's. I've just not had any drama on Christmas, thank God. All right, you want to see some of my Christmas gifts, LG? Let me show you a couple. All right, this is Thunderdomer Nathan got me that. Can you see that? Is that on the screen very good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all know what that is, Thunderdome? Can y'all see that? You know what that is? That right there is the Super Bowl in January 1993 in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl. That's Leon Lett, the big cat. That's Leon. After he had recovered a fumble and was high-stepping like Dion to the end zone, and this little dumbass here, Dan Beebe. Y'all remember Dan Beebe? Dan Beebe had a brother named Don, I think. This is Dan, I believe. This little asshole, it's late fourth quarter. His team was down 52-17 in the Super Bowl, but he decides to hustle anyway, knocks the ball out of Leon's arm, and the ball goes out of the back of the end zone. The game, it should have been 59-17, but because Beebe decided to be a hero, it was only 52-17, and it's signed by Beebe, not Big Cat. You see that? Thank you to Thunderdomer Nathan. He got me this. That's very cool. It's signed by Dan Beebe. How about that?
Where do you find that relic?
It's
like an antique now, right?
A massive relic. Look, also, this is also proof to the kids. Hey, kids, look, this is the Cowboys. That's the Super Bowl. So, yes, here's proof that your team used to go to the Super Bowl all the time, actually.
Yeah.
I'll show you another present I got before we get out of here. Here's another gift I was given. As you know, the movie that screwed me up as a kid the most was what? The Exorcist.
Your cock up her ass.
Yes, that's the one. Look at this, dude. I have this for the studio, too. We'll put this up next October for Halloween. It is an autographed Linda Blair photo
of
the iconic scene of her character Reagan levitating above the bed about 10 feet in the air. That iconic moment.
Yeah.
When you've got the demon, see the demon in the back?
It needs to go in a frame.
Yeah, for sure. The demon shows itself, and Reagan just levitates above the bed. This is right before she kills the priests.
Mm-hmm.
And Linda Blair signed it, Linda Blair Reagan. How badass is that? So I'll bring that to the studio, and we'll put that up next October. We should put this bad boy up all the time.
Yep, we need frames.
And then I
for
got
that.
this. I got this from Nina. You know what this is? See if you can tell what that is. You see it?
Looks like a jar full of fucks.
It's a jar full of fucks. The fucks to give jar. How about that? Okay. How great is that? So I got the
she
fucks
has a lot
to
of
give jar.
She has a lot of fucks to give apparently.
Well, this is all I got left. And after this, I'm out. Huh?
I'm depending on. Are those coupons that you can cash in?
No, it's just every time I give a fuck, I have to take one out.
Oh, I thought
So
maybe you hand her one of those and it was go time.
No. This is just
okay.
things in general that piss me off. I need to try to save my fucks for things that matter and not give a fuck about things that don't, right? This is a lesson. This is actually a really good gift. This is a lesson.
My idea was better.
This is a lesson to not give a fuck if you don't have to. So here it is. Use your fucks wisely. Here's the give a fucks guide. It says you're born with a ton of fucks to give, so you spend them like he says you're born with a ton of fucks to give, so you spend them like a little kid with a credit card. You give fucks about your friends, about your grades, about your fashion sense, about strangers' opinions. You give way too many fucks about way too many things. You have so many. Then as you get older, you have maybe 10 fucks per month, so you learn to budget them. You allocate fucks to family and career, but there aren't enough fucks to give to the newest fads. Oh, someone at work has something they need my help with that's outside my job title. I'll do my best to allocate some fucks, but this month's pretty tight. Then as you get older, you're down to 1 or 2 fucks per month, and those fucks are pretty damn precious. You give them to your family and your hobbies and your job, but that's kind of it. It's not your fault fucks expired too quickly. I would have saved my fucks from when I was young, but I couldn't. Then you hit fuck insolvency. You're getting like 1 fuck a year, and you have to make a list. So you go without, and even for previously fuck worthy things, you just can't give a fuck anymore. Some people run out really quickly. Some people have a fuck trust fund that pays out a decent amount even into old age. But at some point, the fuck faucet runs completely dry, and you're out of fucks to give. It's just basic fuckonomics. So whether this jar of fucks sits on your desk at work or on a bookshelf, let it be a physical reminder that your fucks are a precious resource. Don't let all the frustrations in the world distract you from what's really important. Breathe in, filter out, and move on. Well said. This is a reminder. I'm gonna leave it on my desk. This is a reminder that there's only so many fucks left to give at my age, and getting worked up over things that don't need to get worked up over are not worth giving a fuck over. All right. So there is Uncle Mike's New Year lesson. Give less fucks in 2024. That really is the key to happiness. All right, Holmes, we're done. That's it. We've got 3 Cents Podcast coming up here at 1 with me and Ernie and Clettel from Chatterbox Studios in San Antonio on the Inner East Side. So I'll see you boys in a little bit. I might change. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, Thunderdome. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. Subscribe. I'm letting my hair grow long again. Can you tell? Because I'm getting ready for my mullet. So I got to let it grow out. How many are we away approximately, LG?
We still need like 70 or something.
70?
60,
all right.
60. We need 60.
All right. 60 subscribers. We're 60 short. I need subscribers, Holmes. LG's getting ready to grow the Marbach. I know, but I can't grow my hair for 6 months. I'm going to look like an idiot.
I bet you it happens in January.
I bet you it does too.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're done. Love y'all hard. See you on 3 Cents. We'll do this again tomorrow for people I want to punch Wednesday. Thank you to Texas Cheer Liquor and Thunderdome. You boys be good. We'll see you in here mañana.
Come back, you puppy!
Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it!